Hello, Lady Joyful here from the Joyful Soul Creates. Today I have a magic themed shaker card to share with you. This is my design team card for the latest Cupcake Inspirations Challenge, the theme of which is World of Wizards and Witches. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, so this was definitely a fun theme for me. I started out by creating a galaxy background. I've made a couple of galaxy backgrounds before, but I decided this time I would change things up a bit and create it with oil pastels. So I started by just laying in blocks of bright colours and blending them out, and then I went over them with black. And then I'm adding splatters of white acrylic paint and some silver acrylic paint to make stars. Next I'm creating my character for my card, my little wizard. I'm using the Yeti from Lawn Fawn Lovable Legends and stamping it with my favourite things, black licorice hybrid ink, which is alcohol marker friendly, because I will be using my alcohol markers to colour it in. Going with the Harry Potter theme, I decided to add a lightning bolt to my Yeti's forehead, so I used one that came in Avery Elle's Be a Unicorn, just masked it off slightly and stamped that on as well. And then I will move on to colouring the Yeti. I only recently got my first alcohol markers. These are Yosoo Finecolour sketch markers. I have the 36 set, and I figured I'd buy something cheaper brand of markers as I'm only starting out, so that if I find I don't like using them, I haven't wasted a lot of money. So I'm using the different E tones for colouring the fur and skin of the Yeti, and they're listed up on the side if you're interested in what colours I used. They're not the same as the Copic numbers, I don't think, but at least they can give you an idea of what colours I used. I then used a red for colouring the scar and also to give a bit of blush to his cheeks. And then I fussy cut him out. I won't show all that because it took a while. Next I took the Lawn Fawn Hats Off to You stamp set and took the Wizard's or Witch's hat and stamped that onto another snippet of paper. I actually had already coloured one because I only just ordered this stamp set and got a bit overexcited and made the hat before I remembered that I was meant to be filming it, so I'm just showing you how I coloured it. I used cool greys and then red for the band on the hat, a little green to add some extra depth, and then I fussy cut that as well. So now I'm making my scene elements, and you can see in the top left hand corner what dyes I used for that. Then I will trim down my galaxy background, first trimming off the white edges and then cutting down a piece to make the sky for my scene. I'm also cutting down a piece of acetate to be my shaker window, and then I will just make sure it's the right size and start adhering I made these foam elements to pop up the top hill. Then I will attach the galaxy background to the card base with some double-sided tape. And I use my MISTI to help me line it up properly into the corner. I just find it easier because otherwise I can never get them layers straight, and I'm just trimming off the overhanging bits. Next I am cutting myself a frame from some black card. I don't have any frame dies, otherwise I would have used those because that would have been a lot easier, but cutting it with my trimmer worked well enough, and I'm just finishing up the corners with my craft knife and a ruler. And then it took me quite a while fiddling around to work out how best to adhere this. I actually had originally stuck the acetate to the frame, which is why you can see there's some tape on it, but then I changed my mind and peeled it back off and fiddled around quite a bit more, so I've used my tape runner to adhere the hill with the trees to the acetate, and now I'm adhering that to the frame. And then I will slide up, I will trim off the overhang on the side, and I adhered the other two hills with more tape runner. Now I'm adding some foam tape around the shaker panel of the shaker area of the card. I wouldn't recommend doing that actually, because I later discovered that the foam tape wasn't holding on the oil pastels. I discovered that after I'd put the whole card together, so I had to carefully pry it apart, and I put some glossy accents under the foam tape and then put a book on top of it and left it to dry so that it would hold in place properly. And it does hold in place now, but just the straight foam tape did not work at all. So now I'm adding stars to my shaker well. Quite a lot of stars. There are some moons in there as well, all different colours. And adding some double-sided tape to the hills, and then removing the backing from all the foam tape and the double-sided tape. I'll press the frame into place and make sure it's all straight. And now I'm going to start adding the scene elements to the panel, which I probably should have done before I adhered it in place, but I wasn't really thinking. So I'm sliding all the trees into place where I think I would like them to go. And just fiddling around, trying to go with groupings of threes. Working out where I want my Yeti as well. And then I'm just testing out, I want to add a shadow below the Yeti, so I'm testing out which markers, which green marker would be the best to use. I think I use my lightest green marker, and then just add a shadow underneath where the Yeti will be. As you can see, I've already attached the hat to the Yeti's head. I believe I used my glue pen to do that. Then I'll use my glue pen, I'm slightly off frame here, sorry. I'll use my glue pen to adhere all the trees into place, and using my tweezers just to help me make sure I get them where I want them and tucked under the frame as necessary. Just do the last two trees, and then I will add the Yeti as well. I believe I used my glue pen for the Yeti too. It's that last tree, and the Yeti. And then I decided to add a wand to the Yeti. It doesn't stamp very well because of there's a gap in the foam tape underneath, so I end up going back in with my Sharpie marker and just drawing the wand in, and I should have done that in the first place really, because then I could have got the wand in a better position. So then I'm adding some more of the moon and star sequins as if they're coming up from the wand, as if the Yeti is casting a spell. And then the last thing I added, which I didn't catch on camera because my camera unfortunately died, I white heat embossed a sentiment on another piece of black card. I used Have A and Birthday from the Lovable Legends stamp set, and then I spelt out Wizard with the Claire's ABCs stamps from Lawn Fawn. And that is the completed card. I hope you liked it, and thank you for watching. Do play along with the Cupcakes Inspirations Challenge, I'd be happy to see you there. And I will see you soon in the next video. Thanks, bye.